Hello, good day. We are the group 3 and we will be discussing about the multi-user operating system, and at the end of our discussion, students will be able to know the components, the types and the features and the characteristics of our topic. So, first one, what is the multi-user operating system? So, a multi-user operating system allows the permission of multiple users for accessing the single machine at the same time. Main objective of designing of multi-user OS is used to sharing, time sharing, and batch processing of the mainframe. And this component embed, no, these servers grant permission to multiple users to accessing the operating system, such as the kernel and the hardware simultaneously. So next one. So this is the example of the multi-user operating system. We have the mainframe and the 1, 2, 3, 4 are the users. So there are four components of multi-users operating system: the kernel, device handler, spooler, and user interface. First one, multi-user operating system uses the kernel component in the low level and it is written in the low level language. The kernel is a computer program at the core of a computer's operating system and generally has a complete control over everything in the system. It is the portion of your operating system code that is always resident in memory, facilitates interactions between the hardware and the software components. Next one is the device handler. The device handler is the main goal of the device handler is to provide the all requests on the entire device request queue pool. Device handler designed individually for different output of device. Device handler are software that interface between OS and the I/O devices. Where I/O devices when I/O instructions is received, device handler converts generic instruction and internal character code into format request by specific device. And next one is the spooler. Spooler stands for simultaneous peripheral output on the line. So this one, the example, the spool disk and CPU, secondary storage, and the line printer. So kanina yung si spooler guys kay mahog ni siya nga agian ni siya sa tanan memories sa OS. So next one, user interface. So user interface is the communication medium in between the users and the functions of the software. So dili na kuha ni siya guys kanang ang user interface kay mo na ni siya ang kanang inig-open na to sa mga websites or sa mga apps mo na ni siya ang atong mga makita, which is makita na sa nato ang mga function sa isa ka system. And next.
Good day, everyone. I will be reporting about the types of multi-user operating system. So there are three types of multi-user operating system, which are the distributed system, time slice system, and the multiprocessor system. So the first one is the distributed operating system. It is a collection of multiple components distributed over multiple computers that interact, coordinate, and seem like a single coherent system to the end user. So, the distributed operating system is also called distributed computing. So, this device divides resources in a way that multiple requests can be handled in turn each. Individual request can be satisfied eventually. So, the examples of distributed operating systems are the applications which are the electronic banking and the mobile apps. So the next one is the time slice system. So it is a system in which each user's job gets a specified amount of CPU time. So in other words, each task is assigned to a short period. These time slices appears too small to the eyes of a user. So the decision to run the next piece of a job is decided by an internal component called the scheduler. The scheduler is run once every time slice is to choose the next process to run. So ang time ang time slice system is not available in single user operating system where the user and the machine come contact directly. So the example of time slice system is the mainframe, a practical exam of the time slice system where a user will be allocated a specific time slice to perform a complex task. So the next one is the multiprocessor system. So it is where the system uses more than one processor at the same time. So unlike the single user operating system, mas two or more processors ang pwede nimo magamit at the same time ani niya. So since all the processors will be working side by side, the work will be completed at a pace that will be much faster than the single user operating system. So the best example of a multiprocessor system is a window operating system where Word, mga video player, music player, and etc. can be open at the same time without affecting the efficiency of any applications that being opened. So how the so the next one is how multi-user operating system works. So the single master system is contained within the multi-user system. All users can update, delete, and create files on their local working model, and all network users can access the master system anytime and from any place and open their local version of the system. Thank you.
Good day, everyone. My name is Tero, and I'll be reporting the features and characteristics and operating system. So, number one is multitasking. Next slide, please. Multitasking, multi-users and operating system is capable to perform couple of tasks at concurrently, and multiple programs can be run on this operating system at the same time. As you can see in the picture, the user runs multiple application. For example, any editing task can be performed while other programs are executing concurrently. The user open Firefox and Microsoft Word at the same time. And the second is, next slide please, resource sharing. In the multi-user operating system, several peripherals can be shared. Due to this feature, user can share own documents. In this system, tiny time slice of CPU time is allotted to all users. So, successful shared resources allow users to operate if the shared resources were on their own computer. So, some examples of shareable resources are computer programs, data, storage devices, and printers. Shared files access also known as disk sharing, folder sharing, shared printer access, shared scanner access, and etc. The shared resources is also called a shared disk, folder disk, or shared document. And the third one is background processing. Next slide, please. A background process is a computer process that runs behind the scene and without user's intervention. Typical tasks of this process including logging, system monitoring, scheduling, and user's notification, which means if given instructions are not processed, and then they perform their tasks in the background as well as other programs are interacting with system in the current time. A background process is a process that is running without user's input. A number of background processes can be running on a multitasking operating system, such as Linux, while the user is interacting with the foreground process. Some background processes, such as daemons for examples, never requires user's input. Others are merely in the background temporarily while the user is busy with the programs. Presently, other in the foreground so that other process can be sleeping and taking up swap space until activated, which thus makes is currently a background process. So that's it guys for the features and characteristics in operating system. Thank you.
So, hello, I'm Emika Gellecania, and we're going to discuss about the differences between single-user and multi-user system. So, if there's a multi-user operating system, then there's also what we call single-user operating system. So, now let's take a look at its differences. Single-user operating system, by the word itself, single, a user can only effectively manage a single task one at a time. Compared to multi-user operating system, multiple users can handle a variety of resources at a time. So with that, we can say that single-user operating system is simple while multi-user operating system is complex because it manages multiple users and multiple resources. So single-user operating system provides a platform for one user at a time because this type of operating system is used only for single user, while multi-user operating system maintains a database of known users to enable what you call is controlled access to a large number of users. Now, in single user operating system, if another user wants to use the computer's resources, then the user must wait for the current process to finish before proceeding, while in multi-user operating system, there is no need to wait for computer resources to become available because users can access resources directly without waiting for its process to complete. Next, so in the single user operating system, the central processing unit may use to its utmost capacity while the multi-user operating system stimulates real-time performance by simply task switching. Now, standalone systems are supported by single user operating systems because meaning they can operate independently without electric transmission and distribution of network because this is a kind of system which maximum people use on their personal computers or laptops. So there is no need to be concerned about user balance, which is in contrast to multi-user operating system because this system does not support standalone systems, meaning they cannot operate without electric transmission and distribution of network because this is a kind of system where most of the time is used in mainframe computers where there must be maintained a balance amongst users so that if one person has a difficulty, then it does not affect the other users. Next. Next, please. Okay, so these are the some examples of multi-user operating systems. So for small and medium-scale business computing systems, Unix offers a very trustworthy open system architecture, which is why this is mostly used on the hospital industry, healthcare, and many others. We also have multiple virtual storage where IBM develops an operating system for use on mainframe systems. This is commonly utilized in enterprise computing aviation business where there are high intensity input and output is required. Now, shared computing is a multi-user operating system that runs the servers that support the majority of webmail applications because hundreds of computers may be required to run a typical web application. webmail program, where each one runs a multi-user operating system capable of supporting various users at the same time, because these systems are designed to support multiple users at the same time. Connection. I am trying to reconnect. Yes. Okay, so to continue, there are other examples, which includes Windows XP, the Vista, the Mac OS, and many other examples of multi-user operating system. So next, so there are also advantages and disadvantages of multi-user operating system. Next, so the advantages are the following. Multi-user operating systems can be used in the printing process to allow numerous people to utilize the same printer, which are very useful in offices and libraries because they can efficiently handle printing jobs. Multiple people can access the same copy of a document on a single computer system. So, for example, if you have a PowerPoint presentation file which is saved on one computer, then it can be viewed by other users on other computers as well. Next, when a single computer in a network system fails, then the entire system does not stop functioning. So it does not come to a halt. So other advantage is also the multi-user operating system are used by airlines and ticket reservation system. Next, so there are also disadvantages, which one of which is if a virus hits one computer, then it spreads to the entire network system simultaneously and finally to all computer systems that will fail. So other disadvantage is that multiple accounts on a single computer may not be suitable for all users because all computer information is shared publicly. So your personal information is very accessible to everyone on the network. So if that's the case, then it's better to have multiple pieces, multiple personal computers for each user. Next. So thank you. That's all our discussion for our report. Next. So these are the references for our topic for today. Thank you for listening. Have a good day.